Texas did not lie when they say they do it bigger.
No basic song.
What's good, Stushy? Welcome back to another video with the Stush Life. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing all the details about my recent trip to Houston, Texas. So this video is going to be a Houston travel guide. So if you're interested, please keep on watching. Before we start this video off, if you haven't already subscribed to join my YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe down below, give this video a thumbs up, share this video with a friend, follow me on Instagram at the Stush Life, and drop any questions or comments that you may have after watching this entire video down below. Okay, so that being said, let's go ahead and get right into it. So before we start this video off, if you haven't already watched my Houston, Texas vlog, definitely check it out. I'll go ahead and leave the links up above and down below. I recommend watching that vlog before you watch this video because it will definitely make a lot more sense. So if you haven't watched it as yet, stop, pause this video, go watch that one, and run it back. I have my YouTube journal right here. I wrote down a few notes, and I also have some questions on my phone because I did put up a questionnaire box on my Instagram. So if you guys are not following me on Instagram, make sure you follow me on the gram at the Stush Life because you'll be able to interact with me there, and you can ask questions about certain things on there and I can respond to them either on here in a video, or I'll respond to regular questions on my Instagram via DMs. So I'm going to start with day one, then I'm going to go ahead to day two and day three, let you guys know where I went, how much I paid, and all that good stuff. First things first, I did depart from New York on October 16th. The flight was roughly 3 hours. Houston or Texas is an hour behind New York City time, so I got there at 11. I mentioned in the vlog that I got there at 12, but I left at 8:45 New York time and got there 11 o'clock Houston time. I stayed at the Magnolia Hotel in Houston, Texas, and that was roughly 24 minutes from the airport, from the George Bush Airport, and it was $24 via Lyft. When I landed, I was looking at the Uber prices and they were $45, and I'm like, that's still not bad, because in New York City the Uber prices from your house to the airport is like $60, sometimes $80. But I was like, let me just check what the Lyft prices are. Lyft was half the price. So I will say that for the majority of the trip, I did travel via Lyft, but sometimes Uber was a little bit cheaper. So definitely compare the rates on Lyft and Uber if you are traveling to Houston and you're not renting a car or anything, or you don't have any means of transportation. And the Magnolia Hotel in Houston was actually located in downtown Houston, and it was actually relatively close to a lot of the places that we visited, which brings us to the first place that I visited after, you know, getting settled into the hotel. So the first place that we ended up going to was Graffiti Park. That is just a random spot in Houston. It was actually maybe 6 minutes from our hotel. I want to say the Uber charged just like $8 to get there. There was an Astros game. I actually forgot who they were playing, so it took us a little bit longer to get to Graffiti Park, but it was literally like around the corner and down the block. So once we got there, that was a free open location, so you didn't have to pay anything. You just walked around, looked at the murals, take pictures, and across the street there was a gift shop that I also vlogged in. Once we left Graffiti Park, we ended up going to the mall. So we went to Selfie Escape, and that was located in Memorial City Mall. When I tell y'all, that mall was top tier. That mall was so beautiful. I'm mad we didn't have enough time to like shop around in the mall, but I did end up going in the Morphe store. But before we get there, yes, Selfie Escape was in Memorial City Mall. We paid $20 to enter the Selfie Escape exhibit, more like a museum, and there were a ton of different rooms for you to take pictures in. They had props. They even offered you a ring light to help you get the best lighting for your pictures, so that was really nice. And for $20, I feel like for them to give you a ring light as well, it was very much so worth it. We really enjoyed our time at the Selfie Escape. But back to the mall really quickly, they had a carousel inside, they had an ice skating ring inside. I don't know what else they had inside because we were only able to walk from one end to the other. I'm pretty sure there's way more to that mall that we didn't actually get to see. But y'all, that mall is definitely top 5, like one of the best malls I've ever been into. Definitely check out that mall if you were looking to shop and you're in the downtown Houston area. They had Zara, they had the Morphe store. There are no Morphe stores in New York City to my knowledge, so if you like makeup and stuff like that, definitely check that out. They had a ton of different stores. I can't remember them off the top of my head. So after leaving the Selfie Escape, we went to Turkey Leg Hut. So prior to going to Turkey Leg Hut, we were literally trying to call to make a reservation, but my twin told me that she watched numerous videos and everyone had to wait on the line. So we were trying to call in advance just to see if we could reserve a table. No one answered the phone, child. I guess they were that busy that they couldn't answer the phone, or the music was too loud where they just could not answer the phone. We just decided to grab a quick bite in the mall so that in the event that we had to wait at Turkey Leg Hut, we would have something in our stomachs because we were famished. And so by the time we arrived at Turkey Leg Hut, there was a line, but it didn't seem to be as long. But what we didn't realize is that the line wrapped around. So we were honestly there waiting for like an hour, and then once we got to the front of the line, the host told us that they didn't have any tables available, which kind of seemed sketchy because we saw a lot of open tables. Maybe they didn't have a server for that section, so I don't know, but we saw a lot of sketchy things happening at the host stand as well, so she could have been lying. I don't know. We were online for roughly 2 hours before getting sat, but once we were sat, it was a good vibe. They played a lot of different music. They played trap. I didn't really hear any reggae, but they played trap, R&B, and they played like some 90s music as well. So at the Turkey Leg Hut, I ordered a drink and my entree. Total was maybe $46 before tip, but overall Turkey Leg Hut, I would say to try to make a reservation, and I'm talking like 2 weeks in advance, because no one answers the phone on the day of. And if you don't get a chance to make a reservation, you can still get food at their food truck, because they do have a food truck right outside the restaurant, and you can also order takeout and just pick it up, bring it back to your hotel, your Airbnb, and go. But Texas did not lie when they say they do it bigger, because our meal was massive. Maybe it was just the fact that it was a turkey leg, but one of my friends ordered a mashed potato stuffed with like turkey leg and cheese and stuff like that, and it was huge. So I would say if you don't see yourself eating a whole turkey leg, definitely split the meal with someone. You could definitely split the meal. I personally had leftovers. I put up a questionnaire or a poll on Instagram asking if you guys think I finished my meal. I did not finish my meal. I packed my meal to go because it was just too much food. For the night activity on the first night, we went to Seaside Lounge. Paid $20 to get in. We paid that via Cash App, but they also took cash. The cash fee was $25. Drinks were roughly $13. I ordered a Patron. I think I ordered a Patron and pineapple juice, and that was $13, so not bad for drinks if I'd say so myself, because you get top shelf liquor for, you know, less than $17, less than $15 in New York City. Hookah was $40. We never actually got our hookah. I mentioned that in the vlog. We asked around 3 times. They never brought it to us. I don't know who was in charge of the hookah, but it just never worked out. They passed us numerous times. We kept asking about it and never received it. But music was all trap, straight up trap. No reggae, no pop, no soca, no R&B, straight up trap. I'm talking Now Wipe Me Down, I'm talking Now Lean Back, I'm talking Soulja Boy, what the hell is that damn dance called? I can't even remember, but like all trap. So if you don't want to hear trap all night, I do not recommend Seaside Lounge. It's a vibe. It filled up nicely. People were in there, you know, smoking hookah, catching a vibe, but it felt like a segregated party, if that makes sense. Like everyone was just in their own world. Like I feel like in New York when we party, we're together in our own sections, but everyone's still vibing out. We're hyping up the person in the next section. It just felt very segregated in Seaside Lounge, but maybe that's just how I felt. I don't know. But overall, it was cool, but the music was dragging us, like entirely dragging us. So just expect that when you go to Houston, because that's majority of what you hear, or that's what I heard in the majority of the places that we went to. But yeah, so on to day number 2. So the first place that we stopped at was Taste. So quick backstory before we even get into day 2. From day 1, we were thinking about where we were going to go for brunch on day 2. So we were between Taste and Camp. Taste had a better looking menu, so we decided on Taste. We were trying to call from the day before to make reservations. No one answered the phone. Matter of fact, it was just a voicemail system. That's what it was. And they said that you could join the wait list, which was on Open Table. So on the day of, we were able to join the wait list. So we figured, okay, for the next day, we'll just wake up in the morning and try to join the wait list, because it doesn't allow you to wait list a day ahead. So we figured we'd wake up early in the morning and try to wait list and try to add ourselves to the wait list so that we could get to brunch on time. Once we woke up in the morning, there was no way to put yourself on the wait list for that day. At least it didn't allow us to do it at that time, because we woke up at 11 Houston time trying to add ourselves to the wait list for 12, so that once we got there, if we, you know, were to be seated at 1, we would already had been on the wait list. Hopefully this is making sense. Hopefully y'all are here with me. So we were unable to add ourselves to the wait list, so we just figured, okay, let's just get ready, go to the restaurant and join the wait list there. Once we got to the restaurant, they told us that it would be roughly a 2-hour wait, but we still said, okay, we're gonna join the wait list. Let's just see, because sometimes people quote you 2 hours, but it's like an hour and a half, maybe an hour. So we joined the wait list at the restaurant. I went to the host, and he also told me that a lot of people leave when they join the wait list, and then by the time their name is called, they don't come back, and you only have 10 minutes to show up after your name has been called, or after they've sent a text telling you that you're ready to be sat. So he said just stay and wait, because the wait is pretty fast, because a lot of people don't come back. They leave, forget that they're on a wait list, or they find somewhere else to go because they don't feel like waiting. So we said, okay, cool, let's wait. Y'all, we waited for 4 hours. 4 hours to be sat at Taste. Wow. Thinking about it, it sounds crazy. Like no one would do anything like this in New York City. We would be out. Editing Stush is here in her bonnet. I wanted to hop on here just to say that every place that we had to wait in line, they had seats on the line, so you were able to sit down. So it wasn't that bad, because you weren't standing for 4 hours straight. You were able to sit down and get up and stuff like that. And Taste, girl, I'm still getting the name wrong. Taste actually allowed us to go to the bar and get drinks and order hookah prior to being sat, but still, like, the wait dragged it. But we knew that it would be the same situation at camp or at any of the other popular places that we wanted to go to, because that's just what you do in Texas. You just have to wait. You have to either join a wait list, make a reservation 2 weeks in advance, or just wait online. So we just said, let's stay, because we'll probably end up having to wait or join another wait list if we leave here. By the time we were about to be next in line to be sat, the host told us that the kitchen was backed up. And we're like, okay, so how long is it gonna take for the kitchen to catch up? And he said around 15 minutes. 15 minutes passed, no one called us. Someone maybe called me an hour later. I was on the wait list and my twin was on the wait list. They skipped my twin's name and called me. How do you skip my twin's name if she was above me on the wait list and called me? They need to figure it out at Taste. I told them, listen, y'all need to work on this wait list thing, because this is not the system is not working for y'all. It's not working in y'all favor, and it's actually really annoying. So I will say that after we sat down, we had a great experience. Food was good, service was good, and everything. Drinks were good, but the wait will really discourage you from coming back. You will be waiting, especially if you go on the weekends. I can't attest to weekdays, but on weekends you will be waiting. So just to be safe, a reservation. I ordered 2 drinks. So the first drink was I believe $13. The second drink was maybe $14. My meal was around $24. I ordered fried lobster tail and waffles. And then I ordered mac and cheese. I want to say the mac and cheese was around $8 or something like that. And hookah was $40 at this location. When it came to music at Taste, they played reggae. I was very, very happy to hear reggae. We were literally counting how many reggae songs, how many Caribbean songs we heard them play, because child, like, our ears were tired of the trap. But they played reggae, they played R&B, they played hip hop, they played rap, trap, and all that stuff. So they, out of all the places that I went to when I was in Houston, Taste had the best music. Now, really quickly, my friends did go to O2, I think it's called O2, on Friday night. That was the night before I got there, and they said they played a lot of Afrobeat. So if you're interested in listening to Afrobeat, definitely check out O2 Lounge, because they play it there. And we also saw, I mentioned in my vlog, but we also saw Quavo at Taste, because he did have a few hostings on the same night. So that kind of made up for the wait, because had we been sat at our correct time or at an earlier time, we probably would not have seen Quavo. So that was pretty cool. But other than that, child, the wait dragged us. And if you guys can hear that in the background, I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure someone's lawn mowing, but we moved. We're almost through. So that night we decided that we were going to touch 2 spots, and the first spot that we touched was Playground. Really, really cute venue, really nice venue. They had swings inside, they had a seesaw inside, they had a mini arcade section inside as well. I saw people playing basketball in the little arcade section. We did pay a $20 entry fee, and drinks range from $5 to around $16. They had hookah as well. For some reason that night we weren't checking for hookah because we were just at the bar for the majority of the time, and we had plans to go to another location, so I think we just skipped out on hookah that night. But I will say that they played only trap. As I mentioned, the only places that played music other than trap was Taste and O2 Lounge. So yeah, they played trap the entire night. They were repeating songs as well. I heard one song 3 times and I was just like, child, if y'all don't switch it up, we gotta go. Quavo was hosting at Playground that night, so these sections were 2,000, I believe, but I know they're nothing compared to that on a regular night, so they were definitely head cracking. The next location that we thought about going to was CLE or CLE. It was literally next door to Playground, like you could walk over, but they didn't open until 12:30, which was really weird because all the spots or all of the lounges and all of the clubs close at 2 o'clock in Houston or downtown Houston. So that was really weird to hear that they were opening at 12:30 if they were going to be closing at 2. Once we left the Playground, we didn't want to wait like an hour and a half to go to CLE, so we just ended up going to Rose Gold, which was 2 doors over from Playground, 1 door over from CLE. We paid $20 to enter, and honestly it was a vibe in Rose Gold. They were playing more songs that we hadn't heard for the entire duration of our trip, but by that time we were just kind of over it, so we just decided to pack it up at like 1:30 because we wanted to beat the exiting crowd, and we knew we wanted to wake up early on the last day to get to go to the aquarium. But Rose Gold was a vibe, I will say that. They played more music than Playground did, and they weren't repeating songs, and we heard a lot more new music than we heard in any of the other locations, so that was nice. But yeah, that was the last location that we went to. We didn't go into CLE because they didn't open until 12:30 that night because Quavo was hosting, and I guess CLE is the after spot to Playground. But I did hear that they were charging $60 at the door because Quavo was coming that night. We just decided to go to Rose Gold because we weren't about to wait to get in. We weren't about to pay $60 because we already saw Quavo 2 times that day, so we just skipped out on CLE. So on the 3rd day, we woke up early in the morning. We went to the cafe downstairs at the Magnolia Hotel in Houston. The food was good. I paid maybe $6 or $7 for my meal. Then after that, we went to the aquarium. The aquarium was maybe 6 minutes from our hotel, so as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, there were a lot of the locations that we went to were relatively close to our hotel. Even Playground and Rose Gold, they were maybe like 9 minutes from our hotel. The admission fee at the aquarium was $16, but I think you paid $24 if you wanted to get on the rides because they did have rides. They have a Ferris wheel there. They had like a shark ride there that we were unable to get on because we were cutting it too close with time. There was a restaurant inside of the aquarium, and I'm so mad that we were unable to eat there. I would definitely like to revisit that location just to eat inside there because you're literally surrounded by fish, you're surrounded by sharks, so that was really nice, but we didn't have the time. But the aquarium was definitely a vibe. I would definitely return and maybe even go on some of the rides, not the Ferris wheel because y'all know I don't like heights, but definitely the shark ride. So now that we wrapped up everything that I did on my trip, let me go ahead and look at some of these questions that you guys wrote me on Instagram. Okay, would you visit Houston again? Absolutely. I would love to go to Houston again. We were only there for the weekend, so we were really limited when it came to time, and just from hearing that you guys heard me say that we waited at some of these restaurants for hours, so it really limited us even more. Like, we had plans on going to the aquarium on the very first day that we got there, but Turkey Leg Hut really took up the wait at Turkey Leg Hut really took up a lot of our time, and then we tried again on the second day, but again the wait at Taste took up a lot of our time. So I would definitely say that traveling to Houston on the weekend is not really ideal if you want to get a lot of things knocked off your to-do list, but if you make reservations you might be able to get things done. That's where we fell short. We didn't make reservations in advance, and I feel like had we done so, maybe we would have been able to do a lot more things, but it's okay because we'll be back. What was the overall population like? Honestly, everyone is in Houston. I saw Asians, I saw blacks, I saw whites, I saw Hispanics, but at the majority of the places that we went to, we were surrounded by blacks 100%. So it was nice to be around the black community. We didn't feel out of place at all, but the overall population includes people from many different places you visited, and didn't get to visit. So I already touched base on all the places that I visited, but places that I didn't get to visit, definitely Atomic Bomb. Before this video ends, I'll put up a little list of places that some of the locals recommended, but places that I didn't get to visit include Atomic Bomb, Camp, the NASA Space Center, the Butterfly Exhibit, the Rice Box. Those are just a few of the places that I didn't get to visit that were on my list. Airbnb or hotel. So we stayed at a hotel, but one of my friends that was also in Houston at the time, Esther, I actually saw her on my trip. I know she stayed in an Airbnb, and her Airbnb was beautiful. Definitely gave the Texas vibe, but our hotel also gave that Texas vibe. We had cows in the bathroom, we had horses over our head. That might sound really crazy, but I actually really enjoyed the decor. But we stayed in the hotel. Next time I would probably stay in an Airbnb if we stay for a longer time. What was your favorite part about Texas, about Houston? Definitely the food. I honestly, like, y'all know I'm a foodie. If you're new here, I'm a big foodie. There was not one place that I went to where I was like, this food is mediocre. I could have done without this. The food was honestly really good, and you get huge portions. Now I don't like a skimp meal, but damn, they really do it big. Okay, I have no complaints when it comes to food, but I also like the black community in Houston as well. They were very friendly. Everyone in Houston was pretty friendly. Even at our hotel, I felt very welcomed at every single location that I went to in Houston. So yeah, I would definitely return. The only thing that I would say is y'all need to work on this weight. Y'all need to work on these reservations. Again, maybe it's because we went to these popular locations that are like must go to places in Houston, but y'all need to work on this wait listing, this reservation, because they were skipping people, they were ignoring people. They need to do better. But once you're sat, no issues. But yeah, they have to work on the whole wait listing reservation system that they have going on, because it's not working. It's not a vibe. Do I have any other questions? Would you return? I already answered that. If yes, what would you do differently? Again, I mentioned that I would definitely make ground reservations weeks in advance, and definitely stay longer, because a weekend in Houston is just not enough time. Like, it's just not enough time, especially after waiting at some of these restaurants to be sat. Not enough time. So I definitely say, if you're thinking about going to Houston, go for at least 4 days. At least. The weekend, 2 days is just not enough time. But yeah, that is pretty much it. I hope I answered a lot of your questions in today's video. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my YouTube channel down below. Follow me on Instagram at the Stush Life, so that way you can see all the lovely pictures that I took in Houston. If you have any questions for me about Houston that I didn't answer in this video, feel free to drop it down below and I'll get back to you. And with that being said, thank you guys again for watching this video. If you haven't already watched my Houston vlog, make sure you go ahead and check that out. I'll leave it linked up above. But until next time, I love you guys. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye guys. Really ciao. Barefaced Stush on the cam. Barefaced Stush is on the cam today. I have work after this. I have to go to work immediately after finishing this video, and I'm giving this girl some skin today, so y'all are getting skin too.